Well, that would be because I muted myself, apparently. I'm so glad. Thank you for telling me. Oh my gosh, I saw the little mute icon up there. Okay, now that's fixed. I don't know how that happened. But anyways, what I'm doing right now is I'm basically just blocking out the ground here. Maybe my stream was better if you couldn't hear me. Maybe that's the secret. Is your live stream better if you only got music that you're listening to? Okay, I'm gonna kind of just go down on the other side of this mountain here. We don't really need to see too much of it because it's gonna be past the camera that we have, but just kind of create that ridge that we'll be working with. And now we could just add in our stuff. Now, since I see some more people here, I'm gonna show you guys the image real quick. This is what we'll be creating this week. I did create this using Midjourney, and this is basically a part 2 of what we did last week with the hand that was coming out. But this time, it's going to be the full body of the Bigfoot, or as I like to call him, Littlefoot, because he's not too big. But it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to be basically using a human model and just adding a bunch of hair on top of it. And then for the weeds and stuff, I still don't know how I'm going to tackle that yet. I don't have any plugins that will really do that, but you know, we can maybe create some twigs and then do some kind of like particle system stuff with that. So let's jump back over here and we can get started really with that. I'm going to add in a tree first. We'll do this tree right here since it's kind of the main one. The reason I like to start with the ground is because then I can kind of just click on the area in which I want to add a tree, and it just adds a cursor right there. Makes everything a million times easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go to Botanic here. I use Botanic for my for all of my trees and stuff like that. Let's see. Wish I knew the difference between deciduous and coniferous, because I don't. But I just basically want a really tall tree with some bark. I think this guy might work. Yeah, let's try that. Let's add him in here. Might even scale it up a little bit more so that it matches a little bit better. One of these days, there are different add-ons for like trees. I use Botanic because that's just one that I already own. But one of these days, I want to try out some different ones. Let's see, I'm going to add a tree back here as well. And probably do a little bit of a different tree. Actually, if I do this and then say randomize variant, oh yeah, that works great. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I might customize, just kind of get the angle down. Hello, fire truck. Let's go ahead and add in some more trees. Randomize variant. Might want to move this guy a little further back. Move him over here, maybe. Scale that guy up. Oh, I don't want to use the 3D cursor. I'll use individual origins. Although that may still not be what I want. So, just bring that all the way back there. Kind of just move him over. I really like, I think I need to find one day an asset pack of just like really stringy, creepy trees, because that's like tends to be what I'm looking for, or just like creepy trees. I don't know what type of tree that is, but you know what tree is in every horror film. That's basically what I want. I just want those trees. I don't want the nice looking trees. I'm gonna put that back here and maybe right there. This doesn't have to be precise either, so let's just do randomize variant. How many different variants are there? Randomize variant. Okay, and then we'll do another spawn of one. We could just do this guy. He looks different. And again, this doesn't have to be precise because we are just using it as like more of a reference than anything. The hard part also is in Blender, there's no really way to see the distortion of a shot until after you do all the compositing. So I don't really know how much distortion I'm going to be getting yet. Let's see, let's do this. I'm going to just duplicate this and then just move him over. We'll rotate him on the Z-axis here. And we'll duplicate again. And duplicate again, but create a really much closer version of the shot. Let's go to camera view here. I'm gonna add him right on top of everything. Scale him down. I need him to be in the ground here. Let's do that. So he's just out of frame. I think if we yeah, that's fine. Not too many trees though that we want to have with leaves, just a few. What I really like is combining the trees with leaves with the trees that don't have leaves, because it just gives it like this more of a creepy vibe. I go for the creepy vibes, man. Let's see. Get one of them tall trees. Move them over here. Keep that scaling down, that's fine. I just want to fill up this area of the forest over here, so just going to add that in. Just do over there as well. Just lots of these. I just want to fill it in because the denser the forest is, the better in our case. So let's see, should be good. And we can also darken anything inside of comp if we need to. So I'm not too worried about that. Let's do this guy as well. And like one of those like really tall skinny trees. Is that possible? Oh, that's cool. Let's move you over, and we can actually make all of these editable later and adjust all of the shaders individually. So we may do that. I think that'll be good for further away trees back here. Okay, under coniferous, got these really tall skinny guys. If I do randomize variant, what do I get out of that? Put some more stuff back here. And kind of want a bigger tree. That wasn't what I was going for. Let's delete that tree. Do that. I'll probably scale it down though. Also use only the bottom part of it. We'll do the same over here, and I'm going to duplicate that and move him up. I don't need to scale it that big though. Probably something like that, and then just move it closer to camera. Move it behind this wooded area. And just create one of our own custom trees. How tall did you want? Infinite height. No one's gonna see it, so I think we're good. Okay, and then I almost want. Let's grab some of these guys. Just further away. Okay. Now how screwed are we? I guess the thing is, so we'll just close that botanic. I feel like we could really just customize everything ourselves. So let's start with our world preset here. Everything's going to be pretty decently light, honestly. If we go to here, we got Polyhaven open. I'm gonna find, they have some HDRIs. They might have some overcast HDRIs, which is maybe more so what we want. Let's go to skies, something like this. It's just pure sky, which this will work great for us because we can actually customize any other lighting that we might need. Let's go ahead and just save that. Let's go to environmental texture. That's what we're gonna do. Environmental texture. Go to downloads and load our pure sky. Now our shading's gonna be really screwed up here. Also, make sure to hit the save button, everybody. Okay. We might not want this, honestly. Let's see. I'm probably gonna go in. Let's do this. I'm gonna add a cube. I'm gonna scale this cube up. I do have a light in here. I might want to delete that. And in our cube, let's delete this other face, so only the face. And then in our cube, let's create a new material. We'll call this flag. And basically, we're just going to darken it. And then now, if I select my faces here, I'm going to just scale that outwards just in case I don't want to have any problems. I'm also going to select my camera. I realized I didn't do this earlier. This is really helpful. Inside of Blender, you can go to your viewport display and change pass-through to be nothing. So that way you're only seeing what the final image is going to be. I'm also going to disable my background image because at this point we don't need it. And if I disable my overlays, which I'll do momentarily here, also notice that we'll need to add way more trees in. Let's go ahead and do that. Thought I was frozen for a second, so I wasn't pressing any buttons. But that's a good good hint to hit the Control S button on your computer. So, okay, the lighting is a little bit better, and we're faking a lot of that, of course, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna change my visibility settings here. Sorry, not visibilities. If I go to viewport display, I can change this to wireframe, and that just makes it a big empty area, but also keeps our lighting over on our scene here. So that way we don't have to hide it, because I don't want to see it right now, because I still have a lot of modeling to do, but it's helpful to have it in there. So it's so funny because I don't have any ground pieces for literally anything. But we're going to be filling this in as well here. Just going to start duplicating and adding in walls of trees. Let's do that. And I'm going to add in some more trees over here as well. Just a little barren. And right now we're doing all of this stuff without atmosphere because later, once the atmosphere is in, we do want the detail here of the trees. It's got to be, just do that, I think. Forests are crazy, man. It's got a lot of trees just everywhere. Okay. It's pretty good. I like that. And it doesn't feel too copy-pasty as far as trees are concerned. Sometimes my fear with putting in trees is that, especially with assets, is they can come off as really just like duplicate assets as you're going along. So this will be good though. Okay. It's actually a pretty good tree too for the main asset. I think now if we hit the save button, I'm a little concerned though. So I need some like dead leaves on the floor or something like that, I think. Let's start by doing this. So I'm gonna hit the save button again. Let's go down here to the scatter. We're gonna just add in a scatter. We do have, let's see, forest floor. What does this come in with? Deciduous, mixed. Let's try mixed. Let's see, what does that look like? I want the display percentage to be set to 100%. It's not that big of a surface, so it shouldn't really crash our system. Oh, let's go. It does add branches. Bro, let's go. Okay. This does feel like cheating, though. But, I'm just going to ramp this bad boy up. And then, as far as, I think this is the, okay, yeah. Increase the amount of branches by an insane amount. It's probably too many branches, honestly. But we can customize that. So let's change this to be 70,000. And then also, I mean, with this, we're probably going to want to adjust our scaling of the branches, like how thick those branches are. It's going to be out of focus, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I do want the randomness to be different. So scale randomness, let's adjust how big the differences could be. Actually, I really want this to be large. Can I go larger than 1? No, I can't. Okay, 1 it is, I guess. And then if we adjust the scale, let's just make this like 0.75. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now, if I do 150,000 on the sticks, that's honestly pretty good. I really like that. Yeah, that matches pretty good. And I don't even know what this is. Oh! And there we go, guys. First crash of the night. First crash. But it's okay. Let's open up, recover, autosave, which I find works the best. 1802. That's 2 minutes ago. It's decently long ago. A lot can happen in 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, a lot did happen in 2 minutes. So we're gonna hit the save button. And we're gonna adjust this to be, the scale is set to 1. Oh, that's right. Okay. Let's change this to 0.75 for our scaling. And then adjust our scale randomness to 1. Okay, those are the correct settings. Hit the save button again. We're gonna step this slowly but surely. Do 120,000 for the sticks. Just kind of center it. Hit the save button there. Great. I'm gonna turn on the viewer on this. And that's about what we want anyways. I mean, it's exactly the same settings as we had before. Now we just got a dude standing in his underwear in the woods because that's how we go, bro. That's how we go. Not too concerned about the sky being blue. It's fine because we'll be adding fog in anyways. Let's see. Okay, next up, camera. Let's go over here. We already have our focus in our scene. So let's select our focus. Change this to like 1.2. Just decently shallow depth of field. That's pretty good. I'm going to change the blades to like 5, I think. And if I really made this small, I've never adjusted the blades till like last week. That's interesting. We are going for more of like a tilt shift lens on this anyways, so we could probably get away with a shallower depth of field on the foreground. I think 0.6 is just right where we want to be at anyways. So let's go ahead and do that. Hit the save button. I do think we could pose him. I'm going to do that, but I do want to hide our stuffs here. So let's go ahead and hide autumn leaves. And debris. 1 second, I'm going to save that, but I'm going to turn this back on. I really do like the leaves, so I kind of want to increase the amount of leaves. This might crash my computer though. I mean, here's the cool thing. It doesn't crash the computer, it crashes Blender. And I can just open Blender back up. So, all good. Now, a lot of you guys liked the stream from last week. Had a great turnout. And the final image with the time lapse and everything, you guys seem to really dig that. So I figured I would continue with the spooky vibes this week, and that's the reason why we're kind of revisiting our friend Littlefoot. Littlefoot in the house. I don't know. Probably should have gone 300K though. That is for sure. I do like these leaves though. Oh man, I shouldn't have done it. I did hit the save button right before I did it, so I'm not too concerned about losing anything. I'm just curious how long I should wait before I decide to force it to crash and then start it up again. I think we waited long enough. Just spam that exit button, bro. Spam it. This is the problem with working with too many freaking particles, man. Okay. I do want to increase the amount. Try 160. Oh, that's nice. Because okay, that actually probably is where we want to be at anyways. Hit the save button there. And if I turn that back on, I just want to see everything kind of together. Oh, that layers pretty nicely. Let's just view that real quick. Love these pine cones, man. And I might add some glowing eyes. Is that a little campy? I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna hide my particle systems now. I don't need those as we're moving forward. The ground is kind of finished here. Ooh, what if we did an animation though? It's like, and then grab Z axis, and then just rotate that upwards. Rotate that downwards. And that, oh shit. It's okay. Sorry, I didn't have automatic keyframing turn on. I'm so used to it being on. Then we'll make this what? A 30 frame shot, which is or I don't know. Let's do 48 frame shot, so it's a 2 second long shot. Let's change that to 48, and then I will interpolate this. It's gonna be rendering all weekend, dude. Set that to linear. And then actually we will scale this by 2. It's gonna half the speed. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I might render this out. I think that would actually be pretty cool to have a little more of a video. All right, let's pose our dude here, so he doesn't look so T-posy, you know. Let's see, what is the controls for this? Ooh, almost like the fact that he would have like a bit of a slaunch. And then let's grab his foot here, and then can I rotate his foot? What is going on here? I can't seem to rotate his foot in the direction I want to. Hello? Is it... Go to human gen and just say, that's all fine. Dandy. Hit finish creation. I don't really care. Like, we're using the base model here. Kind of want his shoulders to be a little more slouched over. See. It's almost like more of like a... Ooh, that's good. I like that. Now, I'm going to select everything, and I'm just going to grab it all. and just like rotate. So he's like turning towards camera. Maybe get some birds flying in there too. I don't know. What maybe not. Okay. Here's a cool thing though. We're gonna go in. Boom. We're gonna delete everything. We don't need any of your materials. Probably delete his eyes too. Somewhat yeller. Did I reconnect from Blink or the stream? It should be still live, right? I'm gonna create a new material here. If we go over to shader editor, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make his subsurface like green almost, you know? And then if we just make him really fleshy, might look pretty cool actually. Okay, save that. I'm gonna go turn on my turn off the roughness too, so it's almost like reflective when wet. It's weird though that it's still getting kind of like a bit of a reddish tint on the subsurface. Alright, I like that. Okay. I think that's all really good. I really like this tree here. Let's select that. Which one is that? Yeah, that's good. I like this one. Let's duplicate that from there, rotate something like that, and then just scale it up. Just kind of see what I'm doing over here. I want to rotate that in. Feel a little more claustrophobic, I think. It's pretty cool. I like that. I like that movement too. It's pretty simple movement, so it's not too crazy. Do this. Let's go to the first frame again. We'll set this to be something more like this. Let's stretch that down. Maybe somewhere like that. I like that movement a little bit better. It's a little bit more smooth. Let's fix his other arm. Again, I like the final image, so I'm going to stay there. But let's bring that up out. I don't like how stiff this shoulder is, honestly. Might fix that by bringing that down. Then go to the very first frame. Let's fix his hand here. I'm gonna kind of get over here and just rotate a little bit. He's kind of turning his whole body now, so it looks less stiff. Trick is to make it so I want that there, and then in the last frame, let's just rotate that. Again, first frame kind of that direction, and then let's end it a little bit like that. So this is kind of the shot here. That's really good, I like that. Okay, I'm going to start adding some hair on him. It could be a bit of a process, honestly. So let's just remove everything. We're going to add some hair. Change the hair length. It's actually a good question. How long? How long is a little foot's hair? Somewhere on there. Let's do hair shape. We'll change the diameter to be something like 0.01. .1 should be fine, honestly. And then children, interpolation. Let's change this to curly. And then if we change the frequency and whatnot, we can probably get it to be closer to what we want. Let's do advanced as well, and then change the quite long right now, so I need to figure out the amplitude is just a bit much. And if we change the hair length now, there we go, that should be better. Let's look at what we're gonna have. And I think also with the frequency, we can increase that a little bit. Let's change our curl to be like 0.02. maybe even more than that, 0.04. Change the flatness amount. Change that back to 0.02. Okay, great. We'll call this flyaways. We're gonna decrease the amount of these down to like 10. These are gonna be our wild hairs that we're gonna have. So let's just increase it to 50, I think. Okay, sweet. This is gonna be called skin, and I want to add another one called hair. We'll call this hair main, and let's change this from principled BSDF to principled hair BSDF, and we'll change our roughness. Actually, I want to do this melanin based. And then we can increase the roughness, more of a matte look. Let's increase the melanin all the way to black. Okay, that's hair main. If I duplicate that now, we're gonna call this hair, let's call this secondary, and then should have hair main. Hair secondary, should be hair main, hair secondary, and then let's duplicate, or we're not going to duplicate, we're going to create one new one. We'll call this hair flyaway, and we'll change that from principled to principled hair. I do think we could probably change this secondary one have a little less, just kind of get some browns in there, and then these guys we can actually change them ourselves to some wild blondes, I think. Cool. So now if we go into our render settings here, let's go to this, we'll change this to flyaways, and now let's create a new particle system called hair. Again, we're just going to copy a lot of this, so change this to 0.11. That's all good right now. And change this to main. We're just going to work on the main hair. Let's change this to interpolation. Set this to 100. And then we will go to our kink, and we'll just call this radial now. We'll just increase our frequency quite a bit, and our amplitude, we can increase that as, or change it to, I think 0.3 might work. Yeah, 0.3 works pretty good. It looks just wild enough. And then if we change our hair shape, we're going to change this to 0.1. And now, if we actually make our hairs a little bit smaller, could adjust that by 0.05 maybe. Maybe even a little less, 0.025 I think. That's cool. And then we can always add another hair particle system on top of everything else, and that's going to basically be like specific hairs that we want, some more art directed hairs. So I think that's good. Let's go to our render now, our render tab on this. Oh, we'll need advanced, and then under render, that's already set to main. Okay, great. I also want to have some clumping. a little bit, not too much. Okay. And our noise, we can increase our noise on our clumping amount. It's actually quite interesting. I've never messed with that terribly much. Roughness. Okay, great. Let's set this to now 5,000. And can I change the random size on this as well? I think I can. Hair shape, diameter scale, that's all good, that's all good. Strand shape. That's cool. Let's change the size, randomness. There we go. 5. 1. 0.1. I think 0.1 might be the answer. 0.1. Okay, that's good. Now, might want to decrease this back to 1,000. Because I still have another set of hair to add. Let's make these flyaways a little longer. Okay, let's go ahead and just look at it, see what it looks like right now, without any secondary hair added to it. And the secondary hair is going to be that art directed, like really long strands. I think this is pretty good, honestly. I just don't like its legs as much. But I'm down. Okay, let's do the secondary hairs now. Kind of get those thick hairs in there. I'm just going to turn that back off now, and then we're going to rename this to main. We're going to create a new particle system. This one's going to be called hair, and honestly we'll just set it to 0 for right now. We'll keep our current hair in there, that way that's good. We'll call this secondary, and let's see. Okay, if we go into particle edit mode, this is where we'll be adding in our new hairs. And let's just look at a reference photo just so like we could see. So we want some off of the shoulder here, and then off of the shoulder on that side, and then some off the legs as well. And we could just paint those down as we're going. So let's see, we'll just add some hairs here. You can see those guys right there. Sweet. And then I'm just gonna cut this one right here. Do I not have the ability to cut it? It's all good. All right, let's go in and we're gonna start combing these in the direction we want them. I'm gonna turn off Botanic for right now just because we don't really need to see them, all of our stuff. Let's change the length of this and we're just gonna shrink it. We're just quite long. Shrink our long secondary hairs down. I might just chop this guy. Where are you coming from? Okay. Now it's going to be a little difficult to get like that kind of like random hair frequency that we're going to need, but I can play with this until we get something like that. So just have this one stick off a little bit more here before it comes back on. On our secondary, actually, let's adjust the size of it as well. They're like the root. 0.3 is fine because we want these to be a little bit thicker. Back into particle edit mode here. And adjust here a little bit of the scaling and the positioning of it. Kind of want that one random hair here to just stick off. Yeah, that's good. If I could do that with like another one too, that would be awesome. Let's do like a snake hook. Oh, do I not have the latest version of Blender on here? Interesting. I didn't realize that. There's this new feature in the newer version of Blender that is like a snake hook, and you can just grab the hair. Oh, you know what? That's not the newer version of Blender. It's just I'm using a particle system. Gotcha. I think I have 3.4. Let's just shrink this down a little bit. Something like that's fine. Then comb. Something like that. Let's just have this rotate down as well. And again, we could just move that over there. We're not really seeing it in 3D though, so it's just to get that shape off the shoulder with these really long hairs. And we can adjust this a little bit thinner maybe. I think that should work just fine. And if I press simple now, I get this crazy kind of like style of hair that's coming off, which is exactly what we want. One more art directed than our initial flyaways. Our initial flyaways are mostly just to get like that beginning set of just like crazy hairs that we can get. Count, radius, steps, keys, 5, that's all fine, that's all fine. Let's just do this. We're just gonna add a bunch of hairs in here. And can I select all these? I'm just going through and selecting now, and what I could do is I could also just scale them in. Oh, that's crazy. Or I can adjust the length just to these guys. So we'll do that. Let's adjust that down, scale it down. Comb you guys down now. Just these bottom pieces. Kind of leaving these flyaway ones at the top. I'm going to adjust the length on these top ones as well. That should be good. Okay. And now just start getting a little bit of a shape going on here. Just lift this top one up a little bit. Let's bring these ones into the arm a little more form-fitting. Now if we go back into our object mode, that's pretty good. Just see what that looks like. I'm gonna have to set the render color of it. That's set to skin, so if I set this to secondary, should be good. I'm going to adjust our skin one though. It's a little distracting that there's some orange coming through. I don't really want that. So let's change our subsurface down to almost nothing. I might want to adjust this a little bit, so let's bring that up. Just give them more of a greeny, murky color. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's just add some big flyaways. Let's fix this shoulder here. I'm not a huge fan of how much it comes up. I like this one. That one turned out pretty good. Let's adjust this right side over here. Kind of just bring it down a little bit. That's pretty close, I think. Okay, I like that. As for the legs, not a huge fan of those yet, but we will get there. With our secondary, I think I just don't have that selected. Great. Let's go ahead and add some hairs here. I think just follow like that and then that. That's crazy. Okay, lengthwise, all of these need to be adjusted. Let's do this also. I'm gonna select all the hairs up here. I don't want to edit those at all, so I'm just gonna hide them. Whereas everything down here, I'm just going to be adjusting the length. So now I won't be adjusting the top ones. Now if I go in and comb this down, just got a bit of work to do here. First of all, I may have added too many hairs. Okay. I'm gonna go through and cut some of these hairs. Don't need all of them. In fact, actually, I don't need most of them. They're just supposed to be secondary, so let's have that kind of come out and then stick back in. Dude got some crazy hairs over here. Oh yeah, of course. So I'm gonna adjust that and cut that guy, as well as cut that guy. And all these other ones, I'm going to comb them in a little bit more. Anti-puff it. And there we go. It's just these extra hairs that are coming off. Not too much. Don't want to be too crazy with it. Okay, let's just zoom out now over here. Okay, not bad for our main dude. So we got the trees in, we got the floor. Let's just work on some atmospheric stuff here now. Don't know that I'm a huge fan of the way this hair works, so I may fix that. As always, these things can be adjusted and changed. I'm just gonna hide the stuff that we're not editing and only work on the main. Let's make it a little easier to know what we're doing. If we go to, let's see, options, can I view children? Yes, I can. This allows us to kind of more so know what exactly we're doing. I don't want to cut anything, we're just going to kind of comb. So with this, I do want this to go down the arm. I don't know why I'm looking at my arm as if I'm a wildebeest or something like that, but sometimes it's useful to look at different references to kind of know exactly what you're working with. I'm just going to bring everything down here. Same thing for this side. Like the rest, I just want to adjust the legs now. Just puff that out a little bit, not too much. Gotta cut around these eyes as well. Okay. Let's go back in object mode. Let's turn other hairs back on. Save that. Sweet. Let's turn our forest back on as well, because we're gonna start doing a little bit of work on kind of the 3D compositing of everything here. I do want, let's see, here's what I'm going to do. Let's see. I don't have, damn it. I do want birds flying away, but I don't actually own any birds flying away right now. I don't want to put my credit card info in on a live stream. That would be a no-no. But if you guys want birds flying away, I would recommend just like a 2D asset. Go to Action VFX or a website like that, Action VFX, and go get like a 2D asset of birds flying away. Much easier to comp those in, especially since they're so far away. You don't really need to see too much. That's what I would recommend. Okay. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and add just a cube in. A cube in, not a cube in. Although you can add one of those too if you want. I'm going to grab this face here, and then we're just going to extend that to the edge of our trees. Just got to scale that up. And this will create a new collection. Go fog. Actually, just call this FX. Now, whoa, what did I do? I think I scale inverted my other face. So let's just do that to fix it. Okay, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and create a new material for this boy. And we'll change this to a shader editor. And if we change this to scatter, volume scatter, Swap that down to volume. Change the density as well as the entropy. Just see what we're working with here. I also just realized I am streaming only my right screen. So let's fix that. If I increase the density, that just makes everything more black. I actually almost want not a volume scatter. Let's just add a volume, or not volume info, volume principled volume. Let's plug that into our volume here, and we can actually increase the emission strength. This will give us like this fake, like kind of like raised black levels. That's gonna happen. And that can give us like an interesting pass, honestly. It's quite interesting. You could change that. I think I'm gonna stick with volume scatter here. If we increase the It's weird, honestly, that I am getting kind of like this silhouette effect on a volume. That doesn't make sense, honestly. Let's just turn off fog. And if I go to world settings, I can actually just plug in a scatter node directly into the volume. Okay. What is... This should really not be going this wild on it. Like, technically speaking, I should just be able to do that. Okay, that's fine. Then why is my effects... This is our technical problem for the day. Our effects should... Plug that into the volume, do density, set you to 1. It's whack it's doing that. We can always fake it, I guess. Yeah, I don't understand. This guy should be working. I'm wondering if it's because I inverted everything. So let's just do this. And then only scale up, because I think it's because I inverted everything, and I don't know if that's like a problem. It probably is. Material 2, and we'll call this fog. Now, if we go to our camera view, what is that square right there? Oh, interesting. Okay, wait a second. Scale to 0. Does that work? Okay. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I just figured it out. The end of this. Boom. That's whack. Okay, sorry guys. That was unbearable. We're just gonna delete this whole vertex group there. Take this. I just want to scale this all the freaking way up. We'll fill that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just go back over here, save, and go back into our camera view. I was struggling with figuring out what was going on. That's only our effects group, so if we re-enable our character as well as everything else, which got hidden, pressed 1 on my keyboard, which is a freaking annoying shortcut now, so should be everything. Cool. So now let's go back to adjusting this. I think if I change this to a volume, a principled volume now, that I actually have everything set up correctly, let's just do that. And then let's also go in and we're going to add a sun in. Just pointed like this direction, like that. Let's increase the That's pretty cool. Not really. Just gonna drop that into our FX though. Now increasing the amount that we have also will be better. I like that too. What is negative Is this just like scattering the light more, I think, rather than creating rays? Which honestly is more of what we're going for. I'm going to bring this down inside of comp, so I'm not too worried about that right now. Let's create some of these twigs that are coming across the top. It's like this false sense of like security here. Let's do that. I'm going to go back into a 3D viewport here. I'm going to take this guy now, and again, just like before, we will go to viewport display and then just set texture to wireframe. That way we're not hiding it, we're just making it not as visible. I like this guy right here. Let's take him, and we're going to go to our botanic settings. I'm going to duplicate him, and we're going to go specifically over where that camera is, and then just scale everything down here. Rotate to that. This guy, though, we're going to convert to an editable object, and inside of here, let's go ahead and select very specific branches that we want. So I'm going to select this one, this guy, just kind of select a whole branch here. And maybe some additional twigs to go along with it. It'll be actually a little easier if I select kind of all of that and just go Control L. Let's Shift L because that's the one we want to keep. Let's just delete that. L. Let's just do this. Control L, X delete. Just deleting a lot of this extra stuff here. And then the only thing I want is this. So Control L and then select invert, which is Control I, right? Yeah. Vertices. And now I think if we do select by floating, right? Can we do that? Select. That's fine. I'm going to delete these guys manually. I think that's fine. Cool. Let's go ahead and move this over to something like that. I'm probably going to delete this lower branch. And we're not really even seeing anything of that. Let's just select this guy too. Don't need a floating branch in our scene. It's already creepy enough. I'm going to delete all of these. Shift L to that. Vertices. And let's just delete this as well. And that truly should be good. Shift L on this one as well. Kind of want to keep that. There we go. Now I've got this branch kind of going overhead with a few twigs that are coming off of it. If we go view that in 3 viewport now. It's pretty good, honestly. We can accomplish a lot of the other stuff in compositing. I might want to add some more leaves in, kind of in this center area, just to help fill that right there, I'm thinking. Let's go to our there. Okay, great. Let's spawn a new asset. Not doing shrubs. No shrubs here. Kind of almost do like a dead tree too. That might work. Let's rotate this though. I only want to see the leaves. Delete the keyframes on that. Okay. Sweet. That's pretty cool. I really like that. You know what'd be fun? Like a leaf falls as the shot goes. So let's do that. I like it. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna add a plane real quick. Let's just add that right here. Let's scale that out a little bit. And a few's fine. Okay, that should be good. Just a plane right now. It will be something much more later. Let's scale that down, though. Just realized I can't really see. I think that should be good. I might put it over here. And then what we do is, let's select this first. We'll create this as a collision object. And then this guy right here, let's create you as a cloth. And our collision object, let's increase the friction, insane amount. For this also, let's increase the friction amount. I don't want it moving at all, honestly. Do self-collision. The air viscosity normally has a thickness that slows the falling down. Increase that all the way. Let's change that a little bit. Maybe a little more. Just kind of, you know, giving it a... That's cool. And now, if I go in and add a, let's find force fields. Let's do turbulence. Just increase the strength of that guy. Oh, Jesus. Maybe not. That's pretty good though. Okay, so that's like a falling leaf that we'll be doing. Hey, sorry, I've been lurking the whole time. Just popped in. Been looking, what? Looking forward to this. Oh, yes, yeah. I'm currently animating. Sorry, I just saw your message. I've been so enthralled by this, this leaf that I got going on falling here. I'm trying to do a video animation this time instead of just a single image, and that's what I'll be posting on the Instagrams. But that is the simulation for the cloth sim. So let's shade that smooth. We're gonna go to our, what we can do actually with our cloth sim here, I think we could just bake it. So let's just change the cache volume. Should all be good. I'm just caching to frame 48, honestly. Let's just do bake all dynamics. So now, should be good. I don't have to ever worry about cache. It's always cached. Let's add a leaf onto this. I'm gonna find myself a leaf. Do we have a dead leaf? Dead leaf. I can always, I think that works. It's got a watermark on it, but it's fine. We use this one, no watermark. Save image. Drop it in there. Let's open up Photoshop. Although I don't know how to do that in Blender, so I'm gonna do this all in Photoshop. So go to the downloads folder, drag that in there. We're just gonna do select by color range. Actually, no, we don't even have to. We'll just do this. Just add on. Might even use this guy. Hello. There we go. We're keeping the leaf. Okay. I don't know why it can't read the... Yeah, I guess like an animated film poster. I don't know, I've never seen one. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and just delete that. So now this is over transparent. And then we will say File, Export, PNG. And let's go ahead and put this under our materials. So if we go to our live stream, today, 29th, VFX material, textures, and we'll just save it as that name. And if we go back one, that's fine. Now, let's do a vertical split. I need this to have a UV editor. And we'll create a new material called Dead Leaf. And let's change this to shader editor for right now. If we go find our texture, voila, put you over there. It's my other window. I have this new leaf, and I could just plug this directly into the base color, and we'll use the alpha as well. So I'll just plug this alpha into the alpha channel here, and if we find that leaf, let's go to 3D view here, or texture view here. This is almost good. Probably just going to edit mode, and let's find that leaf texture that we have. Now if I go back to our texture view, the only thing I need to make sure is that this lines up with the branch in the beginning. So we're just going to rotate that by 180. Perfect. And that probably is going to be fine. It's so extra too. Oh man, I love it. But yeah, now that's going to fall down. That's pretty good, honestly. I really like that. And we can composite some other stuff in there. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get the whole thing rendered, you know, while we're on stream, just because it'll take too long. But what I can do, though, is just render out a single frame of it, and then we can comp that single frame. And then later, while that's working, I can be rendering out the rest of it. So let's change this to OpenEXR multi-layer. Swap over here. As usual, I like to enable both the objects and the materials. It gives us a lot of crypto mats to work with. I'm going to enable normals as well. You never know when you'll need them. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and render out this. This is at 25% resolution. So let's get that rendering, and then we can start to composite. I think also I'm seeing something whack go on with the hairs here. I don't know if that's because I'm like low res or I don't think I have hair dynamics turned on, so yeah, hair dynamics is turned off. Hair dynamics is turned off. Hair dynamics is turned off. Might be the children are like way more. So those are both set to 100, and then secondary. Ah, that's totally the problem. All good. We will change that to 10. This happens every now and then. Let's go ahead. Re-render that. Only took like a minute, so I'm not much better. I'm not sure about the background again. I feel like that's thick enough there, but there's not enough there. So I may want to fix that. Try rendering that again. This is just the trial and error part. I do feel like there does need to be a lot more bloom with the lighting, so let's affect that as well. And then the overall fog we can adjust as well. .02, .03. I also think, let's see, let's go to camera view there. If I go to 3D viewport now and then just add in a light, let's do an area light. Pretty big. Let's do -10 though. This will increase our render times a bit. Boss Logic on Insta? No, I didn't know what it was, but I'll look that up. Okay, and then let's select the fog as well. That's going to create a little bit more of a silhouette on our foreground pieces here. Might not want as much of a silhouette. It's just like a lot of little just like tweaking here, tweak that, tweak this. Let's change this over here to a shader editor. So grab your popcorn bags and relax. I'ma shimmy, shimmy all the way until I pop. Hey, pop off. Not hearing you talking that blah blah. I'm in my prime like haha, getting ready to swing like Top Golf. You're not that guy, better stand by. You'll only make it worse. Been grown since birth. Get a picture for the memories. I won't pretend to be nobody else. And then our sun. How much am I gonna have to increase this by? Too much. Took my chance, the dice roll, let me slide in. Welcome y'all to my show in the top 10. I'll bet it all for the title, so let me just shimmy, shimmy all the way. Let's see. He makes animated concept posters for films. Some have been made. Oh, really? That's super cool. Sorry if I'm a little distracted, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what the exact numbers are that I need this to be at. Let's do 0.02. I really don't like the specularity on this, but I don't know how much I'm going to be able to see that. Let's see, where's my sun at? Let's do more of this style. And then, let's see, let's duplicate this. Put this back here and change this to a spot. Of course, we can scale this down, of course, or scale this up. And then I'm going to increase the wattage on this guy. Okay, and now with the fog, let's see, we're just going to increase the entropy a bit. Honestly, it's pretty cool. And then we'll just do a bit of a negative here as well to make everything a little bit darker in the comp. I don't know, let's see, 0.02, let's see, 0.01, let's see a little bit further. Pretty cool, I like that. And then let's see, take this down a notch, 0.2 instead. It's a little bit of a different vibe from the initial photo, but I kind of like this because it makes it more silhouetted and like yeah, and then I'm gonna vignette the bottom part of this for sure. All right, cool. So let's save that. Let's hit the render button again just to see what we're gonna get here. And then I can start comping some of this. Holy shit, am I blowing this out? What's going on? Is it just too much light? Well, evidently no. That's not gonna work. I really like that, I think. The second sun that I have is this. It's like 0.1. Is that the thing that's blowing it out though? As if I had. What's going on here? I do feel like it's bugged out, honestly. Let's go ahead and save this and close it and reopen it. Sometimes that helps fix the issues. Okay. Just gonna blow it out again. It is. There is something happening to my image. But it doesn't do it inside of my 3D viewport. I'm wondering if it has to do with the light bounces. So light paths versus this this viewport, which is only doing so many of them. So let's see, 1020. This that shouldn't really. The sample shouldn't change it. Like 1024 should be fine. Max bounces, total. Because there might be a difference between the max bounces in Alright, let's try that. If I decrease the max bounces from 12 to 2, transmission to 0, glossy to 0, diffuse to 0, transparent to 0. What does that get us? Well, guys, this is where Google comes in. Blender, no. No one seems to have the same problems I'm having. Let's just turn that off. We're just troubleshooting now. Okay, so we're getting like a super bright light. That's fine. That super bright light is this guy. Let's change you to be not so bright. Okay, not so bright light. So now I turn back on my fog. And should give me a better result. Okay, great. So now that's good. I do want my sun back in, I think. And let's increase the brightness a little bit of this light to like 300. Just being cautious here because for whatever reason it was giving me different results inside of my viewport. That's just so whack. I've never had that before. Okay. Then the other thing is this area light here. I may want to just disable him. Just see what we're getting. Hey Anthony, welcome to the live stream. We're just screwing around with lighting right now. I had this thing was just blowing out when I would hit the render. So let's see what we get here. I have some stuff turned off, like for instance the sticks on the ground and whatnot. But let's see what we get here. This is pretty hot to me. I might bring that down in the comp a little bit later. Just rendering it out at like 25% right now, so that way it's decently fast. Okay, I like that. I'm definitely bringing this down. I'm going to, I don't know why the lighting is just so different. That's crazy to me. I've never experienced this before. It's like completely different. Let's increase our Intricacy, and then increase that as well. I think if I do this, it's weird because the lighting is so much dimmer inside of the viewport versus the final render. That's just crazy. Normally they're pretty one for one of each other. And then this right now is not getting any fog on it. I don't think I want the light there directly behind him. I do think this kind of takes away a little bit from that. So let's go ahead and move our spot that we have. I really like this look. This is the look that I wanted, but it's not giving it to me. Let's turn that down like that. Kind of just give it some adjustments where we need it. Probably have to turn down the intricacy a little bit. Entroscopicy. Just realized it has a keyframe, so I have to re-render it without said keyframe. Okay. That's better, so that way it's not blowing it out as much. Unfortunately, it's just the silhouette is just way too much, man. Let's turn. This one is a struggle today, boys. Normally I could get this pretty easily, but the fog is just giving me some problems. It's like it doesn't want to play right. Let's try that. Change this to 0.1, and then let's go to our increase this wattage. Oh, the other thing that we did turn off, we might want this back up. Do 4, let's do 4, let's do 3. Might still be black, honestly, but yes. And then if we go to our fog, now I know what it's like though. This is the thing that Blender's now doing, what every other 3D software I've used does that I hate, which is it makes you have to render it in order to see what you're doing rather than having a nice viewport. Okay, we're so freaking close. Okay, 0.028. Just render that out again. Let's try point. Okay, perfect. I feel like I had this option selected before and it wasn't perfect, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay, let's get this rendered. I've got my nuke comp here selected, which by the way, if you guys don't use Nuke and you want to, Nuke right now has a deal. Their open beta is out and you can go download it for free. So go grab it, try it out. It's awesome. Get hooked on it. Start using it professionally, you know. But yeah, they have their open beta for, I think it's Nuke 15 is out. So I don't actually think that's the version I'm using right now. I think I'm using like Nuke 14 or something like that. let's go ahead and save this now. We're going to save this as, we're going to put this inside of our output folder. Call this appropriately 29 September 2023 and version 1. Or temp version 1. There we go. Should work. Let's go select that now, and I'm going to just use a shuffle node. Just so we can see what we're working with here. First of all, let's bring up everything. Kind of bring everything up like that. Actually, it'll give us that's good. And then let's do this. We'll do lens distortion. This is going to go at the very end of our stack anyways. Let's do a lens distortion. Just add a little bit. Redistort it. Probably doing that wrong, but I don't give a crap. Sweet. I'm going to go into our Blender now. And let's close this. For the sake of this stream, as I said, I'm not going to render out the whole sequence. But for those of you that just joined, this is the animated shot. It's just like a really quick shot with like a slow camera push in and a leaf that's falling from the tree there. That's what we did today. So I'm going to render out the full res of this. I don't actually know what frame I rendered out. Let's see. Do like the last frame. And go ahead and hit the render button there. That's 1920 by 1920. Let's go over here and let's do some magic. I'm gonna add in a grain node first. We'll just use a quick preset to get like a nicer looking grain. I kind of want to use a constant. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna use a dot. And this image here is going to reformat this to a scale of 4. There we go. So that's now 1920 by 1920, which is going to be the full res version that we're rendering out. Let's see. That's going to give us better results for what we're trying to do. I'm going to do RGBA. We'll set this to, that's fine, I don't care. We'll use our reformat node, paste that here. What I'm gonna try to do is, if we do, on our constant, I'm just gonna have like a gray image. If we set this to 0.5, that's actually perfectly gray. I'm going to create our grain here. And then I'm going to take a saturation node, just remove our desaturate it. Now if I merge this on top of it, that's actually pretty close to what I want, but I'm just going to have to bring down the black levels now, which actually is decently simple. If I add a grade node into this, go view my regular grayscale version of this, I could set the white point to this color. So now if I view this, oh whoops, not the white point, I want the black point set to that. Now I just have my grain that I want, and I can comp that in peacefully. without any freaking colors. So let's adjust the intensity scaling on this. Keep it only on the blue channel. Should be good. That's going to give us a decent pattern here. And now, if I use screen, this should be fine. Now I can adjust the amount by just doing this. I'm going to probably decrease the amount that I want of the grain so it's not so overt. And there we go, perfect. So now we can delete that, and we just have our grain on that. I'm gonna take his eyes because this is something that we can adjust here inside of the comp. I'm going to add a grade node down here. I'm now going to just use the crypto mats that we have on this particular render. Let's go take a look at that. Oh, Jesus. Gotta love it. Change that to material. I don't know. It's gonna be difficult. I just need the eyeballs, okay? I suppose... No, because he moves. That's going to be really annoying. Should this not be its own thing, though? Just following the curvature of the mountain. Add an edge blur. Set that to RGBA. And then let's set this to like 300. Now I can pretty much just grade that down and it should be good. I'm going to increase the feather on this as well. No, sorry, not that. This guy. There we go. That way it kind of falls off a little bit nicer. I do want a bit of a bloom to this, so it's gonna kind of haze everything up a little bit. Let's change the tolerance here. That's good, that way it's not blurring everything, but just gives it a nice kind of misty feel to it. Maybe not that much. I also don't want it here specifically. So let's just do another one of these. I'm gonna add a dot just to help keep things a little bit organized here. I'm gonna add this glow in, but specifically not this section. So RGBA and invert. And then edge blur that by 300 should be fine. But now let's just move that up a little bit. Great. Let's go ahead and save. Oh, I should have been saving. Good thing Nuke doesn't ever have any problems crashing, right? And comp version 1. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like that. And I mean, we are making it black and white to match the reference photo that we initially had, so I think the leaf might be a little too big, honestly. But I guess we won't really know that until everything is rendered out. But this looks like about 8 minutes remaining. About 8 minutes on this, so I'm just going to stick that on full screen. I'm going to go fill my water up. I'll be back momentarily. Overall, not that crazy of an animation of a shot, though, so just realized I'm not like super live on this, but on my phone. Pretty close. How are we looking? This is the comped version of the shot. The eyes, you know what? The reference also didn't have the eyes, so this is extra anyways. Just look at input for that. But how are you guys all doing today? What do you have planned for this weekend? Since we're waiting here, figured, well, for 50 more seconds. I have a pretty cool photo for next week. I already have the next week's photo planned out. It was a toss-up between that photo and this one today, so I decided to save the best for last. That should get you hyped up a little bit. Okay, let's see. I'm going to select the main EXR here, and we don't need to reformat this one. Okay. That's pretty cool, honestly. So how long did it take to render? I got a lot of tabs, guys. About 11 minutes. So 48 frames. Cool. All right. It's about 400 minutes, guys. 400 minutes to get the full res. That's now you know. So this is the finished comp, though. So thanks for watching, guys. You know what? I might, since it's a can. Oh yeah, it didn't do the eyeballs at all. Oh no, it did. They're just very difficult to see. Holy crap. Okay, so I want these eyeballs. Can I not? Oh, it might be difficult with how much hair there is. I think... What's the name of them? What is your name? HG Eyes. I think I could just do that, right? Yes! Holy crap, I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome. Okay, so you could just type it in. Which makes sense, guys. That makes sense, alright? It makes sense. Why didn't anyone tell me this? I'm gonna go in here and then we're gonna do exposure. And no, we're not paying them with exposure. It's a different type of exposure. Just drop that in. I could just boost these boys. Which actually, I almost want to... What am I doing? I want a merge node. I want this. I want this. Now I've got that. Then I want another merge node. And I'm going to put that here. But first, I'm going to blur this. Just a little bit of a glow, but it adds a little bit to it, which I like. I might not want to blur just as much. That's pretty good right there. I like that. And then, so that all together, I like that. Just so you guys could see what I did, I basically just added an exposure node in, and then on the crypto mat I typed in HGIs, which is the name of it, and I isolated it just to have only the eyes. I then blurred that and then comped that right back on top of everything, so it just adds a little bit of a glow to the eyes. Of course, we are desaturating everything in the end of the day. I'm not sure. Let's not desaturate it. I kind of like the slight bit of color that there is before. Okay, so after the green node, then let's just throw a grade node in here. We're just gonna make this slightly blue. Like that. I like that. Feels very like you just stumbled upon this dude in the woods. I really like that. Okay. Then the only other thing I might want to do, since we do have the eye color, we can actually customize. Let's add another grade node in here. And I'm going to customize the color of the eyes a little bit. So let's go to the white point here. Can I do that? Oh, whoops. To a fault I can. Just a slight bit tint. I do want to just make them a little more yellowish, I think. Yeah, it's very tiny. It's a very tiny amount, but I like that color a little bit better with the white glow. That's freaking great. Okay. So I'm going to, in the meantime, I'm gonna take this, scroll out real quick. I'm gonna render out this whole shot, which has the falling leaf on it, as well as him kind of turning his head towards camera. I'm going to render that out, and then I'll upload that potentially tomorrow. We already have the full comp done at this point, so it's basically just going to be a render out and replace. Everything else pretty much stays the same. But thank you guys so much for joining. Another great stream. Really excited about this one. This was a really fun one to do. I've been getting a little bit into the creature work lately because of my short film that I did, and done quite a bit of werewolves. So I was like, we're going to stay away from werewolves for at least these CG render challenge things. But doing this is fun. He's not Bigfoot, he's Littlefoot. So doing Littlefoot has been great. And I'm really excited to see this time lapse. See, I really do these things mostly for the time lapse. I don't do it for the actual render. I do it mostly for the time lapse. But please hit the like button down below if you guys can. Please hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if there's a specific photo that you want to see next week, then let me know in the comments. There is a comment section down there. I know there's a live chat also that you guys can hit up. But if you want to see something specific on any of my time lapses or the live streams, just leave a comment saying what